Government shutdown.
Government shutdown.
How? I want to ask you how you feel. I bet I know exactly where this is going, anyways. But I'm curious.
I think the Democrats should still stand firm. I don't think it's them that's necessarily shutting it down. It's because this is a response to the Medicare cuts, which is fucked up. It's just fucked up. And if they reopen it, that sets the precedent that no matter what happens, they're not going to fight back. And if the Republicans just throw a hissy fit and they're like, eventually the Democrats are going to cave and be like, well, okay. So you got to stand on it, nigga. You got to stand on it. You got to stand on it.
I'm going to give you a little bit of pushback. Can't the same be said about the Republicans?
In what way?
If they give in to the Democrats demanding in this way, now anytime the Democrats want something and they can't get it, we're just gonna wait till November 21st, and we're gonna throw a fit. We're gonna shut the government down, and we're not gonna. And then now we have to give them their way. I'm just saying the same way you're saying.
No, I understand it could be flipped, but I think politically right now, especially these last couple of years, I don't think the Democrats have even done that once.
Well, no, but that's what I mean. So the Republicans can't give in to the Democrats right now because of that same optics. The same optics that you're saying right now about the Democrats can't, let go.
You're basically saying they could say the same thing.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's applicable in this context because of what they're trying to pass.
I think my opinion on this is the Democrats tried. They fought a good fight. It's not the end. You still have, we look at things like Prop 50 that just passed in California, and you guys are doing fighting the good fight in other areas correctly. Some Republicans would say not correctly, whatever the fuck. But there are other avenues. I think trying to say that you're being benevolent when there are people starving and stuff, knowing that you're dealing with people that aren't going to budge with, obviously I get your reasonings are good, but if I'm trying to protect you by making sure you don't get funding still because I'm using you as leverage as it's being presented, Bernie Sanders, all these Democrats have been saying we're going to lose our leverage if we don't. People don't want to hear that they're leverage when they're not getting their benefits, when they're not getting paid. You see what's happening with the airports right now. When people aren't getting paid, when they're not getting their benefits to be able to eat, to provide for their family, don't fucking call me leverage. They don't care. I'm telling you from the experience, and I talked to a handful of people that are, one, losing their pay, whether they work as at the airport for some stuff or they actually work for the government in big boy jobs. It's these people are not getting paid. And some people can afford, and they're like, you know what? I have my savings. They're fighting a good fight. I get it. And some people are literally telling me, they're like, I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't have money for my rent. Who gives a fuck about healthcare right now? I'm not going to be around. I'm not going to be able to pay my shit. And then I know people that are on SNAP, on EBT. Some people I know got cut from EBT because they don't have it. Some people I know they're waiting on SNAP to come back because they need that help. They're going to food banks to get help. They don't give a fuck about what's going on with the healthcare. I think you're fighting a good fight. And it's the same thing that we were saying about when we were giving Israel their good grace. If you are the good guys, you can't let the innocent people get hurt in the process, because then people aren't looking at you as the good guys as much anymore. I think
it's tricky because it feels like they're being strong-armed into basically like they have no choice,
and they're strong arming the Republicans as well. They're strong arming by saying we're not opening up until. And AOC, speaking about AOC, you were talking about how good is she? Mm-hmm. She's part of the people that is getting a lot of shit for this government shutdown. Mm. And she's saying, my door is open if y'all Republicans want to come and talk and actually.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think it's interesting that the fault, we're all of our blame is going to the Democrats, but I feel like the Republicans haven't made an effort to compromise in any kind of way
at all.
Anything.
They're not even showing up. Some Republicans aren't even showing up. I feel like you're right. You're 100% right.
There should be at least some sort of way for the government to come together from both parties and talk about it. No, we're not doing nothing. That's fucked.
The only reason. And I agree wholeheartedly.
They gotta hold them responsible to some degree.
100%. But if we claim and already know that they're pieces of shits, we need Ja to not be pieces of shits. Yeah, I mean, Democrats. Because I know a lot of Democrats that are blaming the Republicans, but still going, yo, but we need these Democrats to give up. Like, we need these Democrats to fight somewhere else.
I think
with the benefits.
Because they're like,
it's the Republicans, especially for my Democrats friends, they're like, we know they're pieces of shits. We know that they're willing to let people starve to get their ways. We just didn't expect it from our people. And I get it. It's a good fight. But I think once we start hitting people the 30 days plus, I think we're on week, like we're on 37 days or something like that.
Yeah, okay. I think it feels like the Republicans are using like starving people out to forcefully pass their shit because we got no choice, right? But I think, unfortunately, when you think about it, you got to think about it in terms that's, you know, kind of demeaning in a lot of ways, where like when you think about leverage, like, damn, you don't want to feel like leverage. And I don't think you should feel like leverage. But the truth of the matter is that's what that is.
Yeah.
Like, you lose a lot of stake in the game when you give up. Like, they're going to be giving up a lot of grounds. Like, this Medicaid cut is not, it's like it might provide relief now, but it might set a dangerous precedent forward, like going forward. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, no, of course.
I feel for people. I do think they should have to come together. And I think we should, the same way that we're saying, hey, the Democrats are probably like come open. I think if the Democrats are willing to come to some sort of agreement, then I think the Republicans, they bear the other half of that blame. That, hey,
of course,
you guys should be able to compromise something and come to some standing, because you at least got to help the people. I think it's not right for the people to do it, but I also think I don't want to say sacrifices, but there's no easy way out of this. Like, the way that this is set up, where somebody's gonna get fucked some way.
I think they have to. What I think is gonna happen, and clip it. This is gonna happen. Clip it. And when it happens, I'm putting this video out immediately.
Yeah.
Democrats are gonna concede. They're gonna say, you know what, we're doing this because we hear you. You know, obviously they're gonna play the good guy card, which they should in this situation. We hear you. You know, we're trying to fight for you, but at the same time, the people we're fighting for are starving right now. The people we're fighting for are going to be homeless because they can't afford rent. So, you know what? We're going to concede. And when shit goes bad, when these Medicaid cuts happen, remember your enemy, Donald Trump. And then they're going to use that leverage that they then build to help in future elections and future things, like we're looking at with Prop 50, which had outstanding support.
I think the consequences of doing that leads to more suffering. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
I
like, the Medicare cuts are going to be worse than these probably 37 days when you compare one to the other.
I completely
in terms
understand,
of like cataclysmic getting fucked.
But when people can't feed their families, or pay their rent, they don't give a fuck.
They don't care.
They genuinely do not give a fuck.
Well, I think
there are TSA workers not even showing up to work now because they need to find something else to make money. Their airports, dozen flights canceled by United at EWR because of the government shutdown. Like, what are we talking about? And it's holiday season.
I think they need to come to a compromise immediately. I don't think
this is my thing.
I think they should stand on it, and I think if they're gonna, when they stand on it, they need to say we are open to negotiate. If there is no negotiation on the other side, you have to hold them responsible as well.
But that's the part.
Like, they got to try that. Like,
I'm getting at. They've been doing that. They got to like
plaster that on the fucking walls everywhere that they go.
They've been doing that, and I think at this point you fought a good fight, but there's other ways to fight. And you're right. There are going to be people that lose their Medicaid and stuff. But right now in this moment, you're the ones being blamed for this because technically it is them. It is them holding it back. Because the Republicans are pieces of shits. I think you run on, like, you come back, you announce, look at these pieces of shits. We're only doing this for you. We were doing this for you. And you know what? The people told us not to do it anymore. We're done being the bad guys, and we're going to show y'all who. I think at that point, I just don't see another situation where, because I think if you keep fighting, Republicans aren't going to concede and give you what you want. Maybe you end up meeting in the middle. But I doubt that's even going to happen.
I think, yeah.
So how long are we going to stay closed for?
In terms of actuality, I hope they can meet in the middle somewhere.
Yeah.
Probably not. Yeah, I hope they can.
Yeah, if this was a dream situation, yeah.
If they don't, I think people are in there's a lot more suffering to come.
So
unfortunately, in my
ask you a question, since you're saying keep fighting the fight, how long is fighting the fight? Like, how long should they go before they're like, bet we, you know what, we
it's already record, like this is already
yeah. The longest one before this, I think, was 31 days under Trump.
I think if you're gonna fight the fight, it could only be like another month, not like if that.
And that's the thing. At that point,
but I think you gotta.
If you're gonna concede in a month, I think you just concede now.
I think they gotta make a. I feel like I gotta see. Like they don't. I think they need a media team to be pushing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
we're still living
team. Life.
yeah.
And we're just like, yeah, the government is shut down. Why? It's easy to just say that because the Democrats. Yes, but why? Like, I don't think we're talking about the why. I think 100%. The why is getting lost. And I think if they had a better understanding, or maybe like a way to acknowledge to people, hey, the reason why we are doing this is because the inevitable Medicaid cuts are going to fuck you horribly.
Yeah.
It would be a lot easier. And at least it'll paint a different picture and
when you concede
a different narrative.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not us. It's these big bad guys that they're literally trying. They're passing the fuck you nigga die bill.
Yeah. No,
we're trying to fight against that, but we understand if it's too much, then we're going to concede. I think that would be a lot better.
Yeah,
but I feel like 100%. They need to give themselves a shot to do that. But if they're not going to do that, then yeah, you're right. At that point, you got to just concede.
Yeah,
but they need to do a better job telling us and letting people know that. It's them. We're trying to concede. We're trying to make this work for the people. Because these are the people that it's going to affect.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? But until they do that, you're right. You might as well just concede.
This is what AOC was saying on it.
I will say, because I saw some senators speculating about this, and I saw some Republican members of Congress saying, oh, well, if we have this shutdown, it's because of AOC. Well, if that's the case, my office is open and you are free to walk in and negotiate with me directly. Because what I'm not going to do is tolerate 4 million uninsured Americans because Donald Trump decided one day that he wants to just make sure that kids are dying because they don't have access to insurance. That's what's not going to happen. And so if those senators think that we're having a shutdown because of me, they're free to enter my office and negotiate, because what we're not going to do is allow all of millions of people in this country to not be able to afford their insulin and their chemotherapy. So come strike a deal with me if that's what they really think is going on.
I respect that. I respect that. We need more of that.
The irony is, I was just telling you, you can't keep running against this bad guy, and then when you need to show he's the bad guy, there's no marketing behind it. There's it's only election time that they go, you know what, let me show how bad Donald Trump is. But when you need stuff like this passed, for some reason,
we don't talk about it.
That's
what we need. I need to see that shit everywhere, nigga.
Yeah, 100%.
That paints a much clearer picture. Yep. And at least for the Democrats, it's a much better look.
Yeah.
So, because I feel like the Republicans, they're shameless.
So fine, right?
Right now,
it does paint a better look, man. You know.
Yeah, a fine Latina is like,
but continue.
But I think what we've seen, the Republicans are shameless. They're bust down. They're willing to do anything to get what they want.
Republicans in office?
No, in office. In this term,
I don't want to just say Republicans
in Trump's elections. Right now, these niggas suck.
Yeah.
They're willing to do whatever, whenever to get what they need. In their opinion, they're willing to kill people. They're willing to step over everything. They don't give a fuck, nigga. They will bust down on the side of the street. They will flip their body. It does not matter. They're willing to do anything and everything. They're going to leverage Christianity. They're going to leverage whatever they want to get it, even if they don't feel that way.
Yeah, and
so you got to understand that, and you got to frame it in a way to expose what they're doing. So you know that they're going to flip this on you no matter what.
Yeah.
Even though this is their fault, they're going to say, hey, look, they're stopping us from doing it. But it's up to you guys to respond and say, the reason why we're doing it is to protect your rights or your Medicaid and stuff like that. They need to plaster that shit everywhere, nigga.
And I think also the optics look bad because one of the things she mentioned there was insulin. And Trump recently announced that 2026, one of his projects is lowering insulin to like half the cost. So now the same people you're running against saying that these people are going to, like, people aren't going to be able to afford these things because there's like prices are going to be skyrocketing. The same people you're villainizing are now using you not letting the government open back up while going, oh, look, they're concerned about this. Oh, but I'm helping with that. Trump is playing a game.
He's playing it really good.
And these Democrats are falling in line. And now you guys look like the bad guys. And guess what? Trump wanted this shutdown. Trump wanted this because that now they had the excuse to fire a bunch of people, to do a bunch of things. He wanted this. Y'all fell into his trap. And now I get it. You're being benevolent. You're being these good people trying to protect people. But at the same time, you have to realize you're playing his game and he's villainizing you now. He's villainizing you and he's playing the exact same cards you're playing. I'm trying to protect people from these price gouging. So I'm going to do something good while the Democrats are keeping the government shut down. Bro, it's a game and the optics are bad. And I think it's time to concede. I think it's time to push in other areas where you can fight. Prop 50, that was a success. And I think stuff like that. And I had to do like 30 minutes of research to even understand what Prop 50 was.
What is Prop 50?
It's so California, as you know, House of Representatives. House of Representatives. I'm trying to like remember what it is. Each state is divided by lines into districts.
Yeah.
House of Representatives, you get one vote per district.
Yeah.
These districts obviously tend to lean red or blue.
Yeah.
And so what the reason I believe that this even was proposed is because Democrats are saying that Republicans played a little funky game in Texas. So the Democrats played that game with Prop 50 in California, changing the lines. Yeah, moving the lines. So then now these districts are kind of getting reorganized and these people are going to have more. So I think 4 Republican House Representatives are now being swapped to Democrats.
Okay. Giving
it a little bit more of a fair game.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think, makes sense. So then I think some Democrats are starting to file like stuff in court saying that this isn't fair game, blah, 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 whatever. All I know is this is the battle you need to be focusing on. This is stuff like this, that you're doing it the right way. You're gaining power back. Stuff like endorsing a Mamdani. Stuff like endorsing and celebrating Democrat wins while educating your people. This is what you need to be focusing on. And I get the fight that you're trying to make.
But doesn't that feel like you're using that just for PR? Like,
what do you mean?
Right, so it's like, all right, we got to just give up on this like thing that's going to make mad niggas suffer, but we could use this to build the party to be better. That's kind of what it feels like.
No, I think the way you frame it is we try to protect our people, our Americans.
Yeah.
You frame it as we're not trying to protect Democrats. We're trying to protect Americans, red, blue, anything in between.
Yeah.
And the Republicans don't want to come to the table to negotiate. And we don't want you to keep starving. We don't want you to not be able to afford your rent. We don't want these workers to go unpaid. So we have to concede, even though we don't want to. Even though we know that the outcome is going to be millions of people losing Medicaid, millions of people. We want to help in other ways, and we're going to try to keep finding ways. But we think the thing right now that we can't keep doing is letting Trump be the reason why a lot of people are starving.
You don't think like when the Medicaid cuts do eventually come to fruition, they're going to look back at the Democrats and say, hey, why did you guys concede? You guys are fucking retards. Like, what the fuck is this?
If you're going to be the party of progressiveness, you're always going to be looked like that. You know, no matter what, whether they concede or not, you know, the people that just spent all this time not getting money, not being able to provide for their families, no matter what, are going to look back and go, oh, look at these people that like are the reason for this. Even if they're the same people benefiting from the government shutdown. Let's say Republicans tomorrow concede, you know, these are still going to be, these people are, even though they're going to be benefiting off of this, are still going to be like, yeah, but I didn't get paid, or yeah, I couldn't provide for my family this time. So look at y'all. And then if they do concede, these are going to be the same people going, damn, y'all should have held out, or damn, y'all should have done better with this. So I think no matter what, the Democrats are always going to be looked at in like a villain issue. Yeah. I think it's all about marketing. Like I think all of it now comes down to showing the people why these things are happening. You don't only run on Trump as a bad guy when you're running for office or running for a position in the government. You show that even when
you just got to show why you're a good guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So like I can say Trump is a bad guy, but here's why. Here's what I'm trying to do.
For sure. But I think also I don't want to see Mikey Sherrill posting a picture of her handing out food to kids and go, no, that's fucking lame. You know, like that's not going to help in the long term. I think what you do is maybe you do post something like that, but you sandwich it with post of what's going on in the government. Educating people is the most important thing here. You know,
in terms of marketing, yeah.
Educating people is going to be the reason why you're looked at the way you're looked at, you know, whether it's educating them to like find out the good things that's happening, you know, with the stuff going on in California.
They gotta be more proactive in ways that, like, they gotta learn how to cut clips.
100%.
You gotta learn how to clip.
Hire me.
Yo, shout out. Yeah, he's good at making clips, nigga.
Donald Trump recently announced deals with major drug companies to lower incident costs to $35 a month and provide deep discounts on diabetes medications
how many times
for patients nationwide. At the very least, the optics are looking like the government shutdown is.
It's not only insulin,
of course,
and then it's like one of those things. It's like okay, so you're gonna strike a deal with companies,
bro.
Like I'm
telling you, it's just you're in a hard position as a Democrat. And I think you fought a good fight. You represented. Now you have to concede. You have to show why you're conceding. That it's really because you still care. You know, you have to show that you still deeply care about these people, and you're only conceding because you're trying to help, because these people are so trashy. You know, and then you just got to be careful. You know,
right? Because the game is they're starving out your base, and you have to either let your base starve and tell them why they're starving, like, hey, it's their fault, or you give in to the eventual reckoning that's gonna fucking come and dunk on them.
Yeah,
but it's like, hey, at least you're fed, right?
And even I feel like if like stuff with Medicaid goes through, Trump is still gonna find a way to like celebrate and make it about him. He's still gonna be like, look at what I did.
Of course, he's gonna be like, look at all.
I think that's why this shutdown isn't going to work. I think that's why this holding out isn't going to work. Until you give him something that he can say, I did this, it's not going to work.
Damn. Well,
because with the shutdown, he can't say that right now. He can say these Democrats fought and I lost.
Yeah, in terms like it's tragic to think this way, but like to even get insurance, at least, you know, if you're hungry, I don't want to go to the doctor. So fuck it.
And I completely get the insurance thing too. But I think there's another battle to be said about.
There's people that are existing off of Medicaid. So like there's older people and stuff that need it that won't be able to get it.
Yeah.
So it's like technically they're just fucked. And it's like, well, get fucked, pussy. It's like, all right, well.
It's the Cuomo thing again, you know, when he was putting people into these homes with COVID and stuff and like sending everybody to just die there.
Yeah.
You know, but again, I think if it comes down to that, and if that's the harsh reality we live in, that's the harsh reality that Democrats are now going to be responsible to show the people. You know, this is why we were fighting for you.
But then the question arises, like, in betterment to prevent that, is it worth the suffering now?
Is it better for kids to be starving now? That's hard. That's a hard question to ask.
But then
that's a hard.
In response,
if you ask me,
people that are dying literally directly after having no Medicaid, like no access to those things. Like,
I promise you, if you tell me I either have to pick my kids starving now or old people potentially dying in the future.
But it might not just be old people.
But I'm just saying, like for the sake of like the argument, you know, for the sake of like, even if you want to generalize it, people not getting their insurance, you know, not being able to afford insurance, my kid needs to eat now. I don't give a fuck. Let them fend for themselves, you know, like, and so, and I bet you the people that are going to lose the Medicaid are saying the same thing. These people on benefits, why don't they go work? Why don't they go do this? Well, there's also people on disability. Exactly. So it's like there's an argument to be made on both sides why this is such a fucked situation. And I wish we had a different.
I think the narrative needs to change. And it needs to be the fact that we're in this position because the Republicans are proposing bills to take this shit away.
Yeah.
Like they put it, they were able to pigeonhole the Democrats into a position and then market it to make it seem like this is their fault. When in reality, the reason why we got here is because these fuck ass bills that they're proposing.
Yeah.
And the things that they're taking away from people. And
now we're sitting here. Bill wasn't a big beautiful bill.
What? Who'd have seen that?
What?
But it's like, but now we're having an argument on Democrats. They need to make a choice because people are dying. When in reality, the only reason why niggas are going hungry and fucked up is literally because of Republicans. They did not have to cut food stamps. They did not have to cut.
It's coming back
SNAP or anything like that. They did that on purpose.
I promise you.
They cut that.
I promise
Nobody else cut that.
Government's going to open back up. SNAP and stuff are going to come back. Trump's going. I was able to do this now because the Democrats conceded and I was finally able to open up. I'm telling you.
All my beautiful Americans.
I'm telling you, that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to find a way to take credit. Exactly. Democrats are, I get it. You don't want to give him credit for anything because he doesn't deserve it. But
he's gonna take
that's the only way he's going to concede.
They were hungry.
Yeah.
But I saved them.
Yup. I'm telling you.
Those Democrats.
That's why it pisses me off what he was talking about with, what is it, Uganda or something? Or where is it? What's going on right now?
It's Sudan, I think.
No. It's somewhere.
Because the Christians are getting murdered.
Oh, is that Sudan then?
It's either Sudan or Uganda, maybe. I think it's Sudan. Fact check, but